Hello and welcome to the show. We start this week's FailRace episode with V boosted on GTA 5, having got his personal vehicle rather stuck behind some trees. Went and acquired a sort of random civilian car to try and free his stricken car. However, it doesn't particularly want to budge, or at least not in a way that is helpful. Because after a couple of shunts, sure enough, it starts going up the wall. Of all the possible angles in which the car to move, up is not helpful. I mean, down, I guess, would probably be a little bit worse, but up really isn't particularly helpful, because now it's got to the point where you can't even nudge it with the car to try and get it freed. It does then manage to twist around, and I was kind of hoping the car would fall and crush the player, I will be honest. Sadly, it doesn't. It just remains now stuck up against there, and nothing you can do about that one. Stevie on GTA 5 is being chased by the police, as many of these FailRace clips end up the police getting involved with something. Now, the quad bike, not the greatest choice of a getaway vehicle. You see, while it does have much grip, it has got huge amounts of cornering grip. You are somewhat exposed, and if the police have had enough of your shenanigans, then you are not going to have a good day whatsoever. Yeah, not a good day at all in all of that. Adamant Agron on GTA 5 is going for some stunting. One of the huge ramps around the airport. Wants to go for a backflip across the motorway. Almost gets it. It's a good flip. Plenty of time to sort the car out. However, the landing is perfectly positioned to leave the Sultan quite beached in all of that. Assassin 55 is playing around in the military base, as you do. All sorts of chaos and explosions are going on. One of his friend's jeeps has managed to get stuck on its side as they are trying to recover that one. Eventually manages to ping itself off of the wall. However, as he turns to leave, the AI in the fighter jet gets freaked out, just floors it, manages to hook up the missile pods or something through the window of the jeep, flings it into the hangar before exploding himself on the roof of the hangar. I mean, the chain of events to cause all of that is amazing. I didn't even know you could have the torpedo pod stick through a window, let alone the AI to carry it, flip it, and best of all, the player vehicle to be completely unharmed. Well, certainly no more damage than there already was on it. It's fantastic. Duster Danny on Just Cause 2 is trying to get away from the authorities. They park a bike in front of him, to which he runs over. However, physics get angry, and said armoured car rolls and tumbles and continues to roll. There was a gunner at some point that got flung out of the turret on the top of this. It's still going. Still tumbling and spinning and twisting its way down a mountain before eventually, amazingly, landing on its wheels and still being perfectly okay. Now, the FailRace Police Department might have been effective at dealing with quad bikes. When it comes to dealing with cars, well, Mr. Insane 01 on a Need for Speed Payback finds out, yep, they can still do that one sometimes when they're not crashing into everything. He goes to take out one of the police cars, misses, clonks himself on a wall, tumbles about 3 times before being deposited into the middle of the police car pack. The proper T-pack thing going on there from the FailRace Police Department. They're learning, it's a dangerous time when the FailRace Police Department are learning proper tactics. Mr. British Face on Forza Horizon 3, playing a game of tag, manages to jump over the car he was after. Happy coincidence, another player vehicle was in front of him. And tags that one instead. Yeah, not a good day for the Pinker. Tomahawk GT on Forza Horizon 3. Now, this is spawning in to a drift lobby that has somehow managed to select a very wrong circuit. Yeah, this is the Dubai drag strip. These cars should not be on this circuit in a drift hopper. That's not how things go. I don't know whether the hopper was broken and selected the wrong circuit, or whether the game loaded in the wrong circuit. It's supposed to be a normal Dubai layout, and it actually loaded into the into the drag circuit. They cross what would normally be the finish line. The fireworks go up, but they can continue to drive. But the game's not loaded in this area because it still thinks it should be on the drag. It's very weird and glitchy and confused. I mean, we've talked, and I'm not a huge fan of sometimes the Forza track selection in online lobbies and stuff, but this is taking it another step further, I think. It does make it difficult. It's also not registering any points whatsoever. Uneasy Rider on Flat Out 2 with a completely random barrel roll. No idea what caused the car to go for a roll in all of this. Unfortunately, the frame rate is a little bit janky. I had to slow it down. The janky frame rate doesn't really help. Just to try and figure out almost frame by frame what happened, because it does happen very fast in the replay camera. But the car is 1 minute fine, 1 minute facing the normal direction, perfectly okay, and then the next it's on its side. So, yeah, I don't really know. Northern Outlaw Gal on Mad Max is minding their own business, driving around, turns in a little bit too sharply with the car bobbling around, and it's a pretty damn nice roll. You know, it's a decent roll, a good landing, can carry on their merry way with no problems. However, the Outlaws weren't particularly impressed with it. They had to go one better. I don't know what it was they dropped or what exploded. Something sent Max's car flying across the wilderness. Zombie Gent on dirt 4, rather than going for the usual big old tumbles in Sweden, instead just goes for a huge slide along on his door. That's a decent distance. That is a decent distance indeed for that car. Still Guns on turbo dismount, going for a big spectacular crash with a police car up a huge mega ramp. However, said police car's had enough. Nope, we're not going to go for a big spectacular crash. Instead, what we're going to do is get slightly wedged. I mean, it'll be mildly uncomfortable, I'll be honest, stuck between the car and the kind of giant metal frame. However, of all the possible ways for things to go in turbo dismount, that's relatively tame. And finally, the state of it on R-Factor 2. These are all AI cars at this point. One of them has turned in too soon to the first corner, managed to roll, I think it's USF 2000 cars, as it goes to right himself, lands on top of another AI vehicle. That AI vehicle doesn't really care. The two cars get locked together, and, well, now it's a tandem race. Now they're just gonna drive around like this. We've seen a few carries in the past on Forza games mainly, but this one, we had actually one last week with the Indy cars or kart cars or wherever they were. And this one here is even more impressive as just carrying on. And Macau is a really narrow and difficult circuit to drive at the best of times, let alone when you've got another car attached to the side of you. It does eventually come to an end as everybody has to slam on the brakes to avoid another incident up ahead. Otherwise, I wonder how far they might have gone with the two vehicles connected like that. However, that is going to be it for this video. As ever, if you have clips you'd like to submit to this series, you can via our forums. There'll be a link in the description. At the very top of the forums is the FailRace clip submission section, and in there you can find all of the rules and how to submit them. However, that is going to be it from me. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.